Hi everyone. James asked me if I'd been interviewed. I said, yeah, okay. How's lockdown going for you? Well, I'm just going to show you what today has been full of, just as a typical, not every day, but there's maths worksheets that have to do with Oliver. Doesn't really like those. That takes quite a lot of, thankfully, patience that God is gracing me with at the moment. Not always, but sometimes. And then this is a Venn diagram, all about animals that live in the sea, lay eggs and breathe air. And you have to decide which animal went in which area. That was also today's finishing off. We started it Monday, it's taken us till today. And then this is Amelia's maths. She's all over it. She'll listen. She'll sit headphones on, she'll listen to the lady talk, and then she'll do the exercises. Can't really get much done while they're doing their learning, so there's a lot of time taken up at the moment with trying to help them get their learning done and giving them ideas. And today we made a volcano with bicarbonate soda and vinegar. Top tip for the parents, they're going to try it. It's really fun, really easy. It took us about half an hour and there was loads of fun. So that was our morning, but in the middle of our morning we had a little interlude because still trying to do something with toddlers. So once a week I find myself in a different place in the house, and we have a story from this book is Bible Animals, all with Bible truths about God in it too. So that's Oliver films that, Amelia joins in, watch it on our Facebook page, Toddlers. It's hilarious. So that's kind of the craziness of Thursdays. The other days can be like calm or can be crazy. I'm doing a lot of phone calls, a lot of Facebook sort of talking to people as well. So life has changed from sort of running about, which I know a lot of you have seen me like dash from place to place, to it has definitely slowed down. But there's lots of phone calls and people to catch up with. So you've caught me now. It's absolutely delightful. We've done the school day. I've uploaded all the evidence. Now Steve's taken them for a bike ride. So I thought, right, I'll talk to James for my interview. So yeah, that's life for us at the moment. What do I hope will come out of this difficult time? Well, I think definitely as a family we're much closer. We are spending loads of time together, which is really special. We're going out on walks, places we've never been before. That's really lovely. And if we go beyond the family, there's been some real blessings in there. We've also, as a church family, I think we're getting much closer in the way that we talking to people perhaps we hadn't maybe talked to for as long, or different people. I know I'm phoning people that I wouldn't necessarily speak to on a weekly basis, but it's really nice to do that at the moment. So I hope as a church family we're getting closer. And then also on the wider community, people are talking to each other on this road much more. Community are out there helping each other. So I think you just pray that carries on. And I think outside globally, the world is recovering. So that's the world is being given a chance to breathe. So hopefully after this we'll realise that we can't carry on at the rate we've been going, at the speed of destruction to our gorgeous world that we're doing. So that's what I hope will come out of what is a really difficult time. My life, excuse me, my background, well, I was brought up in a really happy home. Mum and dad married for many years, and I had a younger sister, 5 years younger. I love school. I love getting stuck into anything and everything. Not amazing at anything, but gave it all a go. And I had a really good best friend who was really close to me and still is really close to me. I grew up, did my A-levels, went to university. After university I joined the Navy. After the Navy, so I did 8 years Navy, I did 8 years secondary teaching, and then that was sort of after the 8 years secondary teaching. I'd already had Oliver, I just had Amelia, and I was made redundant from Heels. I'd already worked at Plymstock, so Plymstock and Heels, made redundant from Heels, and while I was on redundancy, or while I was on maternity that was, also at that time, my dad suddenly died, so that's 6 years ago this year, and as I look back now I just think, my goodness, being made redundant was nothing, because I was dealing with my sudden death of my dad, and he died in France, so that was quite a big traumatic sort of time, but also a massive, I couldn't have done it without my faith. I couldn't have got through it without my faith. So that's a bit of another story I'm going to have to tell you. So 8 years teaching, 8 years, and then now living in Elberton for now 15 years, and working with you guys at St Matthew's for about 5. So that's how my life was chunked up really. Got married in 2009, get that right, Steve, yeah, 2009, and Oliver in 2011, and Amelia 2013. So that's our little family. My family is still, my mum is still in Sussex, where I was brought up, and my sister, many of you already know, she died 3 years ago now, goodness, very nearly, in October. So her husband and my niece are up near Nottingham, so we're in good contact quite a lot, well, weekly with them at least. So that's our family. How I came to know the Lord was really started off with my best friend Tracy. If you're watching this, hi Tracy. And after seeing how her family dealt with a deafer dad, really, they were a Christian family, and it really affected me. And I started, thanks to her, she invited me to church, and I found out more. I really claimed the faith for myself when I went to university, and went to an amazing church in Aberystwyth, where John's from, St Michael's Church, and had a wonderful time there, learning more and meeting some really wonderful people who helped me grow and make the right choices at different times. So that was really helpful. While I was in the Navy, I was very clear to say I was a Christian. I would be what's called the church officer on board. So I would run the service when we didn't have like a vicar come on board, or a chaplain as they call it. So I would run the service, but to be fair, that was on a Sunday, and I was very different, probably a Sunday Christian, if that's what people call it, because in the week my my life didn't reflect what I believed on a Sunday. So I think that was quite a wobbly time, but I kind of clinging on with my fingernails, knowing it was the right thing. And when I left the Navy, I knew that I wanted to find a church. I knew that was really important. So I found at the time we went to Wembury, Steve and I, because it felt he knew the chaplain there, or the vicar, sorry. So we went there, and then as we had the children, we realised it was really not the place to bring them up in a way. And I really wanted them to grow up having what I didn't, which was having Christian friends and having someone they could say, yeah, Jesus is really cool, and have that around them. So we made the choice to, took them about 6 months, I think, to actually make the decision to move to St Matthew's. We were already involved with toddlers, and Sue Bennett had invited me to her Bible Babes, so I was already involved there, but I saw that it was the place for us all to be. So we moved January or whatever year that was, 5 years ago. So we moved, and then sort of in that July time I started working with St Matthew's as well. So really have taken the church as our home now, and I just know that if I hadn't had the support of the Christians around me, say when my sister was really poorly, I don't know where I'd been. It would have been really tricky, and I did lots of driving back and forth to Sussex, and I think my faith was strengthened by that really difficult time, because you just cling to the Lord. There's where else do you go at a time like that, and you know He's there for you. So that's my journey in faith, and I think I'm still going. I definitely know I'm still going. I'm still making mistakes. And when you asked me, James, about my favourite verse, I was like, oh my goodness, it's so hard, because there are different ones for different seasons. I don't know if you find that, but at the moment, the one I've chosen is from Philippians. I think probably because we were studying it, it's come back to the forefront of my mind. But I know it's quite often one that I pull to mind when I make a mistake. I think mostly because it's chapter 1 in Philippians, verse 6. And I am certain that God, who began the good work within you, will continue His work until it is finished on the day when Christ Jesus returns. So, I don't know when that's going to be, but we've got to keep on going, and He is changing me along the way, and He's helping me get there. So, I hope that helps you. And if you want to know any more about any bits of those lives, because I've tried to be succinct, I've recorded this I think 3 times. So please do. Call me. We're on Zoom now. We can call, we can message, and let's catch up over this time when we've perhaps got a bit more time. Thanks, James, and see you all soon. God bless.